We watched Cool Runnings last night.
Oh, really? Is that what y'all were watching?
That is what we were watching.
I mean, no judgment. That's fine. What made y'all be like, we've got a little time?
I've never seen it, actually.
Oh, what did you...
So we're going through movies, and John's like, wait, you've never seen Cool Runnings? We're putting that on right now.
How did you like it?
It was a lot of fun. I would have liked that when I was younger. It just went by me. Just missed it.
Sure. Great. Get a little mini Cool Runnings review in at the start of the episode.
Cool Runnings. It was very cool.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
You should
I would
run
give it
to
an
the
Ein
theater.
Spy Dry.
I get it. It's the
Mark's
German.
joke was funnier, I think.
No,
You talked over it.
Sorry.
What was his?
He said you should run to the theater to see it.
Although you shouldn't, because it aired. It
Not
was
there.
aired.
It has not been in the theater in about 30 years, I assume. Anyway, that's our Cool Runnings podcast. Thanks for listening. All right. Oh, God, I have a text message open. All right, we're ready. You guys good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Shield of Valoran, Taric, who was released August 19th, 2009.
Yeah.
One of the very
very
first.
different than what he looks like now.
Yes!
Yeah.
Gameplay was simpler.
It was a simpler time.
He just pushed
Little
E.
point and click, yeah.
Yeah, and then they stunned.
It was great.
It was fantastic. What a time, right?
I was a Taric main for a while.
You were a
Really?
Taric main for a while. Yeah, in your fucking Riot Rumble games, he
I played Taric
every
Riot Rumble
every
match.
game.
I don't even remember. Like, I'll be honest, I don't even remember. It's all just like a blur. Man,
Yeah.
fun stuff,
Yeah,
though.
those were,
Man.
I used to take him top lane all the time. That was fun.
It's our cat.
That's Nico. He's got some things he wants to add.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to do impressions of Taric? Who has like a lot of voice lines now, because he was completely redone. I don't remember old Taric.
I remember one.
Yeah.
Oh, God, sorry.
And I mean, it's the one quote they kept, so.
Is it about them being truly, truly outrageous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't remember, like,
I have a different quote running. Oh, what?
Ruby for vigor.
Oh, yeah. I
for
do remember
insight.
Oh, man, you just unlocked something in me, Mark. I
Right.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, I forget what they all were.
damn.
He had an emerald for something, right?
Something
Emerald
for, it's like
divinity or some shit.
clarity,
I like-
maybe? I don't know, I'm trying to remember. It might have been open for clarity. It was definitely Ruby for vigor. That's the one that actually
I
sticks
do
in my
remember
brain.
that one.
But we can do new Taric. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll do new Taric.
Who wants to go first?
All right. I'll go first, I guess. This is what he says to Jinx. Shine on, you crazy diamond. I thought that was sweet. I thought he was going to have something kind of like, maybe a little mean or snarky at her, but he's just like, oh, you beautiful little weirdo. It's great.
I have DC'd at the start of this. What is going on?
Mark's frozen. Oh, no. This is just going to happen every episode, I think, now. Mark is frozen in time. Hello, welcome to the Mark is frozen in time part of the podcast.
Sorry, that Taric's
With
son.
your
Oh, he's back. He was Taric's son.
having a rough,
Razzled the shit, brah.
having a rough day over at the Mark household, but that's okay. We strive on through. Okay, impressions. That's what we were doing. He says, "You know what they say about big gems, right?"
Big hammers.
I thought they meant his dick.
What? No.
What? Oh, sorry.
Gems, plural.
Crazy.
Wait, maybe his balls then.
No one would make that comparison.
Come on now.
They're called family jewels.
Never heard that. Beauty can be deadly and manly. Very manly.
That's true.
You're making it very erotic. It's
He
like,
was
don't
really
get me
erotic, yeah.
He's got a breathy
He makes it
voice, don't get me
erotic.
wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I do what I can with the material I'm given.
And that's horny. All right. Well, on the universe page, he has a bio, short story, a little release teaser called Downfall. A gem falls in the snow. I just summarized it for you. That's literally all that happens. It's 15 seconds. And I was like, oh, what's going to come? Oh, it's done. All
that's
right.
it.
Well,
okay.
that's it.
Neat.
I don't remember that being released. I do remember excitement around like the Taric rework, but...
Yeah. Well, I do because it leads into the comic, right? So it's like...
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was technically a ring, I think, with a gem in it.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what's not linked on the universe
Guess what's
page?
not linked? There's some concept art, though, and his login theme, which I forgot that he had, because I think old champions don't have them. But no, he has a very standing in line at Disney World listening to epic music theme song. That's the only way I can describe it.
That is so fucking accurate. I cannot... Oh my god. You are 3,000% on point. You've been
That's all I can think about.
You've been waiting to ride, like, I guess, like Six Flags. It would be the Green Lantern ride for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you just heard
And that's
it
what's
just
playing.
oh my god, if I hear this fucking same melody. Doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo. Yeah, that's great.
I like to listen to their theme when I'm reading the bio sometimes if they have it, and I'm listening to this song and reading his bio, and I'm like, this is not adding up. Like, this is not matching at all. Like, I'm distracted. Like, I can't. I just want to sit down and get like a lemonade because I feel like I'm at a theme park. So weird. Yeah, but that's what's linked. Oh, they also do have the Broken Champion Insights link as well. Is still there.
Hey, beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
You know what I think the problem is? I think when they gave them the music prompt, right? They were like, this is a dude who's like he's an aspect, he's the protector of all of Valoran. He'll step up, he'll fight for what's right in all cases. But in the lore, we mostly get the prequel Taric stuff. We don't really get a whole lot of the. And
when
the one
he's like
post
being really selfish and like,
Yeah.
The one post superhero we do get, he's like saving a flower. So it really doesn't match up with.
Literally, it's so funny. He's like, I'm gonna watch all these people die because there's a flower here that I need to protect. Yeah, the hero of Valoran, everybody. Oh, woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, I think what the issue is, it is too on point. Like, lots of times you hear a piece of League music and it's like, okay, it has these tones, but it feels nice and unique. This is, like you said, it could be plucked from any theme park, any Two Steps from Hell like playlist, right?
I think Two Steps from Hell is far more original.
I don't know. Was it Skyworld is the one? That's the one that it makes me think of as that, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, that's right. It does feel like it's from something else. Where interestingly, even though League Champion themes have such variety, they all feel like League Champion themes to me. But this one really doesn't. Which, they wanted to try something, and I'm sure there's people who like it. It's fine. It's not like bad music. It's just... It's
good music. It's just... That's why it's so popular everywhere.
I feel like I'm watching a Marvel movie. Like, I'm not...
Yeah, it's good. There's something about it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. What he doesn't have linked, by the way, is another story called The Faith in Her Stars, which he's not necessarily the lead character of. Yeah, he's referenced in it because, apparently there are a bunch of people that worship him.
Yeah. But he's the only champion mentioned, so...
Oh, okay. So it should be linked. Gems. It's like one of those.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where it's clearly written
about him.
It's very long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, bio. Taric was a normal boy in Demacia. I didn't know he was from Demacia, by the way. I was going through his quotes first, and I saw, "Hello, Garen, old friend," and I was like, "Oh, Garen? Weird." Because I've read a lot of shit about Garen, and guess who's never mentioned? You.
Some gym guy.
Yeah, I don't think Garen remembers you, old friend.
We had mentioned it during the Garen episode when we were when we were shitting on Garen, and I was like, and if you needed another reason to dislike him, he also banished Taric.
Well, in this case, it seems like he saved.
I mean, it was a life-saving move.
Yeah, it was a life-saving move. All right, anyway, Taric, normal boy in Demacia. His family was all in the military, and Taric was expected to join them as well. He did, but mostly dicked around with the Illuminators. He kind of preferred to help. I say dick around. He was helping the ill and building homes for people.
Which, for the record, weird we didn't get him in the the Lux stories either.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people they've forgotten that Taric exists. That's true. But
I can see her looking up to him a lot.
Sure. I think something I'll say, we'll get through the bio, and then I feel like there's some big changes I would make to his bio that would probably help build a relationship between them two, I would say.
I like that. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway. Right, he'd rather help sick people than fight. He doesn't like fighting. Of course, he was great at fighting, though, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Somehow he did still rise through the ranks, though, and befriended Garen, as we've said. Taric eventually made it onto the Dauntless Vanguard by, I don't know, just doing the bare minimum.
He showed up. They saw that hair. It's like, you're going to be great for our promos. Like, he's going to look great.
But apparently him coasting through all the battles wasn't going to fly there. But instead of getting demoted, he was assigned to protect the sword captain. The sword captain was then killed. Almost immediately.
Immediately. Day one.
He was on his way back from getting his assignment.
I better protect this guy.
Taric apparently left his post, and the sword captain and a dozen other people died. They said he likes to go look at squirrels and shit when he's posted somewhere. I think he was looking at a temple though, like an old shrine or something like that.
Ooh, maybe the old Morgana shrine from fucking Mage Seeker.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Not really. They didn't think that out at the time.
No, they didn't think that. They're like, I don't know. There's probably rocks there or something. They're like rocks, right?
What are kids like nowadays?
Taric was supposed to be executed, but Garen pleaded for Taric to be sent to endure the Crown of Stone, which means climbing Mount Targon. This is basically a death sentence, so most people just run away instead of actually going to Mount Targon, but Taric wanted to actually atone for his mistake. So he climbed, made it to the top, obviously, and he is now the aspect of the Protector. That's kind of where we leave Taric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what to expect from Taric, except I knew he was an aspect, and I find aspects kind of boring. Unfortunately, I want them to be more interesting. It's just not my kind of story. Maybe I find Pantheon boring. I don't know what it is.
Well, Pantheon's a whole tweak on the whole setup anyway. He's unique.
It's true. Actually, he's less boring than he just looks like he'd be boring, and then he's not, like Darius. But I like how Taric's just I don't know, he done fucked up. And I think his crime, what he did was really wrong and messed up, but also understandable and really fit his character a lot. I don't know.
I agree.
And to be fair, I think that reflects more on the person who gave him that assignment.
Yeah,
than anything.
I don't know, why is he getting promoted?
He stayed true to character.
Right?
You know.
And this guy wanders around. Let's have him protect this really important person.
I do love that. So on Wednesdays, Taric skips out early. He's got flamenco class at 4. He's never going to be there. It's been this way for 5 years. For sure. But yeah, I like that too.
Should we station him next to these old ruins? Yeah, it's fine. He probably won't even care.
I heard there's a lot of cool squirrels, and the sunset's really beautiful. Yeah, his fuck up feels very I don't know, grounded and normal. It's just negligence, right? He didn't do anything malicious, but he did fuck up. So which I kind of like. It reminds me a little bit of a Lee Sin, but it's, I think the difference is that with Taric, his fuck up is so much more I guess it was transformative for Lee Sin, but I don't feel it maybe in the way I maybe do a little more for Taric.
Yeah, yeah.
Taric had to climb a mountain, like Mount Targon, to deal deal with that. Yeah.
You just have to learn how to punch harder.
Sure, right.
It's been a while since we've done Lee Sin lore.
I think that's what he did, right?
He doesn't sometimes commit negligence, just for funsies or to get a power boost or whatever, I will say, to me, there's a little disconnect between the part of him that's just kind of like a daydreamer type who just kind of likes to go and appreciate music, and him being a protector. I don't see that protector part in the early part. So what I thought was, you maybe tweak that a little bit to where make him a really outspoken advocate for like mage advocate, really outspokenly in favor of mages and stuff, and that's why people are he gets on people's shit list. He's kind of an insubordinate or whatever, because and then that ties way more cohesively into the protector thematic, right? He was doing that shit in Demacia, whatever.
Demacia.
Taric and Demacia. So I don't know.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That would make so much sense. And I feel like Taric would 100% have advocated for mages. I don't think he would have been down for them being locked up. That doesn't seem like shit that would fly with him.
Yeah. This was like 2016 is when all this stuff he got his rework in 2016, and I don't know how much they had Demacia kind of nailed down at that point for the big rework, so I don't know if those ideas were even fomented really when all this was written. I think if they wrote it now, they would definitely answer that question, and I think it would be more interesting. And then, by extension, Lux would probably idealize him more, and maybe that would be something that was like a... Oh, fuck, I hit something. I would love to see Garen and Lux. I would love to see Taric come back and interact with Garen after all these years and see how they both changed. And I'd like to see Lux and Garen talk about Taric and what Garen kind of did for him, but also, and to him in a way, too. I don't know.
And now that Lux is kind of in charge of her own city of mages, love to see Taric kind of come back there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general, I kind of want to see what this Protector of Valoran title really means, because we just don't have that. Like, where was he during the Ruination?
I didn't want to mention it too much, but Rise of the Sentinels is really bad because they like, this is it's not like, oh, some crazy far off place. It's on Mount Targon that crazy shit is happening, and Taric can't even show up. He can't even throw a gem or two.
He was looking after a flower or something.
Right.
Yeah, him and Ivern, right? But yeah, so
I would have liked, so it said part of the bio when he's doing the whole trial, it said but Taric pushed past the pain, the ghosts of his dead comrades, and other tests inflicted upon him by the mountain.
What other
cool. Seems like it would have been a pretty cool test. Would love to have learned a little bit more about that.
I always feel about that with Targon. They're just like, it's hard to climb. And I'm like, is it snowy? Is it like, what's happening? And then I always remember there's like a mental aspect of it you have to push through. Like, there's like, spiritual tests.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if the comic hadn't have come out, we'd have nothing.
Exactly, right. I almost kind of appreciate that they took some aspect. Also, my doorbell just rang.
Yeah.
Can we take a quick pause while I see what the fuck's going on?
And who rings doorbells?
Right? Strangers. That's who rings doorbells. That's why you can never answer doorbells.
That's why I always like crouch down and like try to peek out the window real quick.
That's why I have booby traps set up at the door, and whenever someone rings the doorbell, I like pull a thing and then a flame torch.
Burns their hair and then they fall down the stairs.
Yeah, which I have. There's ice on the stairs.
Of course there's ice on even
season.
in the summer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, year round. I just have ice cubes. I have to reapply them like every
hour. Yeah. I think ice cubes would be a little noticeable, honey. Did you just spill meat all over you?
I really did. That's a big spill.
Yeah. Sorry.
There's a lot of meat in this cup.
That's why you just need a giant cup, and then you fill it up only like halfway because it's so
I have
huge.
to wash my hands. This is so
okay. Ooh, it's just gonna be the Rebecca podcast. I have nothing to say. John, come back. I don't know how to talk to myself. I used to do a YouTube channel. I would talk at the camera all the time. Should I just look at the camera and talk? I'm currently reading. See, that's what I would do, is I would talk about books. But I'm not really reading much right now. I am reading... God, what is the title? Small Town Big Magic. It's cute. If you want like a fun rom-com that's like Gilmore Girls but with witches is kind of the vibe. Okay. That's what I'm reading.
All right, sorry about that. That was my neighbor trying to get my email for the block meeting this week.
My God,
suburban.
That is adorable.
At 8:30 at night, no big deal, right?
That's weird as shit. Yeah, that's a little.
That's why I wanted to go chase because I don't want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we can get back into it.
Nice.
Right. Taric. I don't remember what.
Let's see.
We're still talking about the bio.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
I don't know. You can go ahead if you had something. I
don't think I had anything.
I was just gonna say, I did find it. It was interesting that he made it to the top of the mountain, and the aspect of the protector was like you, you're the guy, when literally the only reason is he's here in the first place was his absolute failure to protect.
But he proved himself.
It taught him. He learned. He took it to heart. He had that painful experience. I don't know. I kind of like the moment. I will say I like the moment in the bio when he does get up in the protector. It like shows. It seems to like almost put him in all these weird. It's almost like the closest thing to a new league judgment, and then it puts him in this weird mental like, hey, what would you do if the library of Alexandria or whatever of Demacia was on fire, and he dives in to save a book, or he goes and fights all of Noxus to, I guess, recover Garen's dead body or something. I don't know. Like, that was kind of cool. I wish I would like to see that like that expanded more. And the interaction with the aspect's weird because the aspect is like, this is the role you were like born for, and it's something that all of your decisions have brought you to. Almost like there's a weird fate mechanic going on, which Soraka would kind of help explain a little. Aspects are weird, and I wish we had more explanation for them.
Aspects are weird.
Aspects are weird.
And I'd like big Christmas Carol vibes with those like visions.
Sure.
You know, to tell me, spirit, are these things that will be or things that may be?
Honestly, though, I would love Taric's Christmas Carol. Come on.
That would be a great skin. Except he's not like a, Scrooge.
Well, okay, maybe he's like the ghost of Christmas present. He's
Timmy, Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim, but he's just this like completely buffed out like Fabio motherfucker.
And his leg gem is broken or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Tiny Tim. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure his gems were broken in the story.
Yeah. Tiny Tim's gems were broken for sure.
Coughing up sparkles and shit.
Oh man. Yeah, it's kind of a longer bio.
That's all I got for the bio.
Frankly.
Yeah.
Maybe it felt long in comparison to his story.
Yeah, this story is really short.
Oh man, I was so disappointed with this story. Just because, I mean, it's very short, but the title of it is like The Unexpected Guest, and it was like, or Uninvited Guest. So I can't remember, it was one of the two. I was like, ooh, this sounds like it's going to be kind of fun, like maybe a little funny. Right? Maybe he and Garen will see each other. But it's very short, and it's just Taric. There's Demacia and Noxus are fighting, and he's kind of like, well, I can't save anyone who's committing themselves to, destruction. But what is here is this flower, and it's the last of its kind, and if it gets smushed, there'll be no more of this flower, and I can't let that happen because I'm the protector of all things beautiful and shit. So he wades into the fight to go save this flower. And that's the end of it. It's very short. So short. It was
so short.
It's like when we were reading that like Talon bio, where you start to like, okay, I'll scroll down. Oh, I'm at the end. I'm done.
I did it. These are both, by the way, by George Kerstick.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this was an interesting one. One of the things that he mentions in this story, he said, "My former countrymen now see me as something between a traitor and a wrathful god," which is pretty rude, because I feel like he might be the one person who has successfully completed the atonement challenge. Like, and you don't even consider him atoned? Come on.
I was really confused by that line. And I was also confused by the fact that this is a punishment for them, because they don't like magic. So I was thinking, like, what happens if someone does become an aspect? Do you then hate them because they have magic? This didn't make sense.
She's an aspect.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense at all. Unless they're okay with gods having magic, they just don't want mortals to. So maybe
they're not for the likes of us.
But yeah, this didn't make sense to me. I would think Demacia, or even just the average Demacian, would be like extremely impressed and like would really want to meet him and be like, "Oh my god, one of our people climbed Mount Targon and became an aspect." Like, imagine your neighbor became a fucking god, like, and you were like, "Oh, hey, fuck Bill. you traitor."
What, you're too good for humans now?
Y'all say that, but I think that makes perfect sense, because that is like, of course they don't expect anyone to ever do that. It's totally 100% a death sentence. And then I could immediately see it being that like they've already got so much fear built up around it.
Oh, he froze again.
Rather than seeing it as the impressive thing that it is.
It's always sad when he's in the middle of talking.
It's just frightening, right? Yeah. Oh no, I've disconnected again.
It's okay if he misses what
right
bullshit
in the middle of me
saying
some bullshit. It's okay. It don't matter.
Do you think he kicked the cord out?
He does that way too much.
Oh, he's back.
Nope, I didn't kick the cord out. I'm just having a rough night over here.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Anyway.
All right. So we got from
You understood why Demacia saw him this way.
Sure. I mean, I just think that they've already got so much fear and I guess loathing built up around magic and stuff that the idea that someone went up, they don't know all the details, right? They just know he went up, didn't die, and came back as some weird magic man, and they don't quite know what an aspect is. They don't see Kayla as an aspect. She's just some mythical, like, protector thing. I'm sure it's just like, fuck that. That goes in the scary bin, right?
Yeah, and also, like, to them, it feels like he got rewarded for something he should have been punished for.
Sure,
maybe.
Yeah,
well, then let's see them climb Targon if they think it's a reward.
Yeah, I wish this was like longer. It reminds me a lot of that Maokai story, where he was also protecting a flower.
Oh my god, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, didn't we read a story about someone protecting a flower? And I couldn't remember who the hell it was. You're right.
$500.
A lot of flower protection.
Right? A lot of botanists. But with Maokai, it felt a lot more meaningful because he's stuck on this shitty, dead place, and it's like the one little spot of what used to be for him. For Taric, it's like, well, this dandelion's kind of unique. I guess I'm going to make sure this shit's alive.
And they turned it, like the Maokai one too, they turned into an action piece.
Yeah, that too.
Like he had to fight to protect that flower. Taric literally just walks in and everyone looks at him and they're like mad at him. But
it looks like he maybe was about to fight someone when the story cut.
Right? It ended just where the cinematics end.
Yeah.
Freeze frame. With both armies jumping in the air.
Because that would have been fun, because it was like a Demacian and Noxian were fighting each other, and they turned and looked at him like they were both pissed, like, excuse us, we were doing something. So I like the idea of them just turning and fighting him instead. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Is like, I expect it to be a little cheekier, a little more fun, and kind of poking fun and stuff, and playing with that idea could be a lot of fun. But
yeah,
there's not much.
We don't see Taric fight at all, honestly.
No.
Well, he's apparently very good at it.
He's apparently very good.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take your word for
it. So is he like just repotting this plant like right now?
Yeah, like how is he gonna make more?
It's a good question. I mean, I feel like sometimes don't you need like 2 different plants to like cross, like pollinate and shit? I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I don't know how
not like Taric.
Yeah,
no,
apparently.
I mean, I have a spider plant and it gave me like 80 more spider plants.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. All right, well, fuck do I know? I don't have a green thumb.
Me either.
So I feel like if this is what he does, like saving things from extinction must be this dude's fucking full-time job with all the bullshit that's going on in Runeterra. Like he must not have time to do anything. Like 100% of his time is just like, all right, I gotta save this fucking creature in Ishtal because they're burning down the forests there. And like,
I don't think he knows Ishtal exists. He's not ever been there.
He's an aspect. He's been everywhere.
He's only just been to like Demacia and Targon. We've never seen him anywhere else.
He's theoretically in places. You know what's funny is that his subtitle is the Shield of Valoran. Targon's not even on Valoran. It's on an entirely different fucking continent. That's how much they didn't have this shit nailed down when they made this 2016 rework. That map of Runeterra site didn't fucking exist, I guarantee. Right.
Maybe they made Valorant, and he's just really good.
He's like he like prevents the hackers. He's oh man.
Oh, I love it.
Fuck. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. That's the thing that we're gonna see through all this is that we have no idea what the fuck he's doing right now, and he doesn't really seem to do much outside of Targon. But with how they positioned him, he should be all over the fucking place. Kind of like you said, John. There's so much shit that he needs to be protecting and doing. So,
we'll see him someday, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
When he gets his LOR release.
During the Void event.
He's in LOR. What are you talking about? Are you joking?
No. No.
That's why he's in that story in the first place. It's because they're like, hey, we got a new release for Targon.
Oh, that's true. That was probably the face in her stars. There was a bunch of LOR cards in that.
I think someone just read The Fault in Our Stars and they're like, I'm inspired.
That's a good title.
That's a really good title.
I could do that.
Yeah.
People like faces more than faults.
And cancer's a real bummer. Yeah. So let's write about something else.
Well, shit.
All right, anyway.
All right,
you want to do Our Stars?
Or do you want to do comic first? The comic's probably a little more relevant to Taric specifically. It's also very short. I didn't write down any credits for it, but I also this isn't like a full one like the Ash one or something like that or Zed. This is like a really short, almost like the Nami one a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really just a little...
I also have no credits.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sure they exist somewhere. If in my defense, it's
I
not
just
linked
saw
on the
numerous
universe
creators.
page. Yeah, it's on the wiki. Doesn't work on the Wayback Machine. Anyway, it's just a little snippet of Taric doing his climb, and it ties into the video in that so he's climbing up, and as he's climbing, he's having to doff various pieces of his armor. Right, the higher he goes up, the less he's. It's a clear visual metaphor of him leaving behind the old life and his failures and all that bullshit. But as he's doing it, he is being kind of haunted, we see, by these ghosts, which I think are supposed to be the people that he caused to die, who are kind of just like, whispering in his ear like, you fucked up, Taric, you shouldn't be here. You think you can atone? Fuck you. And
word for word. That was a direct quote.
And at one point, his hand gets kind of stuck as he's running from these ghosts because of that ring, and he has to kind of pull it out and let the ring go as he escapes. And then he kind of gets up to
his class ring. Oh no!
Right?
That's what it looks like.
It does. How are people going to know that he was in theater and band? Right?
Class of 940 AD.
I think you mean AN or whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But he comes up on this sort of part, this like clearing, this cliff top, and there's this other guy who had been seemingly ascending the mountain who is freezing to death, and is just sort of like, Demacian, you turn back, there's nothing here for you, just run away like all good Demacians do. And Taric, who is at this point the only thing he has left is this blue cloak, and it's a really washed out color palette. It's all white and grays except for this blue cloak. He kind of comes up to this guy and he makes this motion as if he's kind of reaching for a weapon, and the guy kind of preps his own axe, and Taric is instead unhooking his cloak and wrapping this guy in it. And he's like, maybe not, but I'm gonna try anyway. And as he walks off, we see in the background the guy who he had wrapped up actually kind of just disappears into the snow, like he was another test almost of Taric's being a good guy. And then the last shot,
Taric is now fully nude.
He's down to his briefs, his Speedo. And that's really it. I guess the last shot is probably post ascension or whatever aspect, because he's standing there on the mountain all chilled out, and he's got his little forearm glow going on, so good for him.
Good for him.
He really should have turned back to get his cloak after the ghost disappeared.
He had no idea.
It'd been a lot warmer.
It's fine. His hair will keep him warm. I like the art in this comic a lot.
He's got like a Bayonetta situation.
Yeah.
Weaving clothes out of his own hair.
Is that something in Bayonetta?
Oh, yeah.
All her clothes. All clothes that you see on Bayonetta are just her hair.
Which is also a demon. Yeah. It's fucking dope.
Why?
Because Bayonetta.
Why don't they give her clothes?
Because Bayonetta's fucking cool.
She has hair.
She got hair.
I also have hair.
Yeah, but do you have hair enough to make a suit out of?
If I did, I wouldn't.
Okay, but it's still attached to you. Let's make that clear. You're not.
She's gonna get a yeast infection.
Well, we're talking about other comics.
No, I want to talk more about the demon hair.
Should. Bayonetta's fucking awesome.
This is Nintendo?
Not originally.
Yeah, they took it over.
Yeah.
What do you think the demon's doing to her down there?
Providing ample protection and certainly not giving yeast infections.
Yeah, I feel like I read the lore, and the first thing was like, and by the way, this doesn't give yeast infections.
She's totally clean. So when she's on the rag, just say it. All right. Anyway,
it's a demon.
We can talk about Taric some more.
It's probably
loves it. The demon loves it.
Probably. Who knows?
I'm so sorry about the last couple minutes. The majority of our listeners are like 20-year-old dudes, so they're probably not loving this part.
Dude, Bayonetta is awesome. They'll love talking about Bayonetta, no matter what we're talking about. Comic. Yeah, no, it's very short. I like the art style a lot. It's very different from a lot of the League comics that we look at. It's really like high fantasy, like I imagine like big high fantasy like landscape depictions done in this style. So it's kind of neat to see here.
Yeah, I liked it. And like we mentioned, it's like the only real sense we get of the actual trials he went when climbing, so that's something too.
Probably for anyone, honestly. That was the other thing. It's like for almost anyone I can think of that's gone up the mountain, it's always just sort of, they went up the mountain and it was fucking hard, right?
It's so hard.
Do you ever sit here, because I do it all the time whenever we talk about aspects, do you ever sit and think like, I could fucking climb Mount Taric?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. Do you know how fucking cold it is up there?
I couldn't.
The snow would come out and I'd be like, oh, there's snow? God, I didn't know I'd be
John, we've literally
tested like this.
Dude, I can barely climb my stairs. I can't fucking climb them out. But, yeah, fuck no. Hell no. But it's also kind of like Silent Hill on top of climbing a mountain, right?
That's the easy part.
I
got no ghost demons coming after me. Try me, bitch.
All right.
I could climb Mount Taric.
What would you be the aspect of?
Oh, God, you know me better than I do. What do you think?
This is a real relationship question right here.
What aspect would
I don't know which aspects exist.
Well, you make
it could
one
be
up.
anything, yeah. Just some concept.
All right. The aspect of beauty and intelligence and poise. Yeah.
You already got me. You don't have to try this hard.
That's why he wins, man. It's because he just keeps on the grind 24/7.
The aspect of cookies. I bake cookies for the other aspects.
You can help Pantheon.
I'm so threatened.
And Pantheon hates me. He's like so mad because I'm a better baker than him.
Yeah. What else we got?
Next up, we got The Face in Her Stars by Rowan Noel Williams.
Yeah.
Not a name I've heard.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
I think this was a new one. Actually, his bio, George Kirstick, I also haven't heard.
Yeah, I don't know that name either.
I wonder if that one's just very old. I mean, because that's like the 2016 stuff, I assume. So maybe, or, because I can't imagine
I was about to say, that's not that old. That was 7 years ago, y'all.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's a long fucking time. We're further away from that than Taric was from, or maybe it's kind of equivalent from when he was actually originally released.
Oh
right?
My God.
Consider that fucking fact.
No,
He's been new Taric longer than he was old Taric.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I hate it.
But yeah, so this one follows a character called Tiari. Tiari is also a character in a lot of Legends of Runeterra cards. Tiari is one of those characters, we've mentioned it before, where there are sometimes little storylines that run through the cards, and Tiari is one of those storylines. But this is kind of the prequel to all that. Tiari is a Recore, and they're a very good Recore, and they're set up to go be in the Solari, and everyone's like, yeah, you're super good at being a fucking soldier, but they just don't want to do it. They just don't feel the passion for it, and they're constantly feeling this call to go ascend Mount Targon. And so the other person who is important is I keep wanting to say Shojin. It's Shivari?
Shorin?
Shorin, you're right. Yeah, I kept wanting to say Shojin. They didn't know that item existed. Shorin, who is also a super, another soldier, and they're really good friends. And Shorin also has the exact same thing going on. Shorin doesn't really feel the passion for doing what it is that they're expected to do and wants to go ascend the mountain. Tiari really doesn't feel comfortable with those feelings, and so when Shorin is kind of talking to them, Tiari is kind of ultimately started to kind of push back on it, like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Have you considered this, etc.? And Shorin's like, yeah, well, I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking up. Anyway, let's get back to training. So they're getting ready. The thing is that the kind of hour of them becoming full proper Solari is approaching. One day they're out doing some marching drill. I guess it's like they just march around a bunch across really dangerous paths because Shorin stumbles, and they're like shield buddies. I don't know what the exact wording was, but it's they look out for each other. Shield mate, yeah. Shorin stumbles, and Tiari, who has a little bit of protection magic, I guess a little a la Taric, isn't able to save Shorin in time, and Shorin falls and is, I think, potentially crippled. I think they may not be able to walk again. They walk around with a cane later on in the story, but the issue obviously is that after that they can both no longer do what they originally were going to do, which is be this Solari warrior, and they cannot follow their actual passion, which is being ascending Mount Targon and answering this sort of question that's inside them. And as Tiari is visiting Shorin's like, I see all this same stuff in you. I know that you have been feeling this exact same thing because it's the same thing that I've been feeling. And you should really go talk to your distant cousin who's kind of a seer type, get some advice from him. Tiari goes and talks to this guy, and I don't remember his name. Big R. It's like Rorik or something like that.
Sounds good.
Yep. And Rorik is somebody who will kind of look through the stars, right? And Tiari is kind of asking this question. Rorik can't answer it, but does start talking about like, well, let me tell you about Taric, right? And Taric, there's a lot of clear parallels between Tiari and Taric. You know, Taric was a soldier, wasn't really called to do what he was originally going to do, and went on this other journey, etc. And what Rorik kind of reveals to Tiari is that there is this constellation that when Tiari sees it, recognizes it as both their face and not their face, and it's a woman's face. And Tiari is either uses like either he, him, or they pronouns. It's kind of like that. So there is a connection there regardless, and Tiari sees this face and the face in these stars, right, and kind of is feels conviction to go on this journey up Targon, but also wants to go talk to their other cousin, Nona. I guess I'm trying to remember how to say her name. Noan, because Noan's like a disciple of Taric. This is where we see that Taric has a bunch of disciples on Mount Targon. They're all about them gems, and oh my god, I've forgotten. Tairi? What? Oh my god, I've forgotten. I've been saying it so many.
That name that he said before. That name.
Yeah.
I think you said Tiri.
Yeah.
Tiri?
It's hard. It's not the way I would pronounce it when I read
Calabast.
it. Yeah. Tairi, it's not Noan, and Noan is like, you need to not do this. You know, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen up there, and I don't want to lose you. So I'm not going to give you my blessing, and I don't support you in any of this. And Tairi's really broken up, really distraught, but does commit to doing it anyway. And so they go to this sort of ceremony they're going to send anyone who's going to go ascend the mountain gets this sort of like final farewell ceremony. Shorin shows up, and they, kind of really like encourages Tairi. Noah shows up, and it's sort of like, look, I still don't think you're making the right decision, but I only think that because I want the best for you, and if I can do anything, take this Taric necklace. It will help out. Trust me, he'll protect you. And Tairi is sort of there, and notices, hey, there's this girl there who isn't from Targon, doesn't have anyone around, and Tairi kind of realizes, like, I'd have a lot of people here who are helping me. Taric would go and try and help this person, so that's what I'm gonna go do. And goes and makes friends with, her name is Haley, and they end up pairing up with another future ascendant, I don't know, called Emir, who is from Demacia. And so the three of them set out to go ascend the mountain together. And then the story is continued through the Runeterra cards, where we see that Tairi alone was able to successfully ascend the mountain. I don't think Haley and Emir are supposed to be dead. They're just like, they got
turned around.
Yeah, turned around, some bullshit like that. And Tairi became the aspect of the Traveler, which is that constellation that they had seen in that initial thing. So that's the story. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
Tried to summarize it as best as I could. There's a lot of names floating around that I didn't write down.
Glad we got the additional post-story context, because she does not ascend by the end of the story, so I didn't know her fate.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this. I mean, that's the start of it, right? Like, it's. I will say, of all of the Runeterra little storylines that run, Tairi might be my favorite, because it feels so well realized and so like cohesive, and it feels so like, I guess, to make it very clear, this is completely an allegory, or like showing someone on the journey to like going through like who's a trans, right? Like going through and then discovering their like actual gender identity and things like that. But it feels so cohesively like baked into the world of Runeterra that it's like I really like it. And I really like that character, and I really love in Runeterra, because the Traveler is a card and Tairi is a card. You'll have these moments where they're both on the board and they'll talk to each other, and it's really great to see. Tairi will be like, how did you do it? What was your secret? And the Traveler will be like, I persevered, right? Or Tairi will be like, when I ascend, I'll be the person I was always meant to be. And the Traveler's like, you've always been that person. I really like it. I think that was a very clear thrust of all of the Taric. All of the Taric cards are really about Tairi, right? And I really like that was like their whole thrust of that release, or that part of that release, was like, we're going to tell this story through these cards. So
nice.
But yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. There's moments in the story itself that I really liked when they're having that first conversation about it, and Shorin is just so completely like, yeah, so I think I want to go do this instead. This is what I want to go do. And Terry, who's been so like in their own head about it, I love that they start actually sort of kind of, like I said, pushing back on it just as like a defense mechanism, right? They don't want to acknowledge the things that they're feeling, so they start being like all of the things that they like project almost, right? It's just kind of, I don't know, I guess it feels a little realistic, like people do that,
It's kind of also like the, if they've got good enough reasons, maybe they can convince me.
Yeah, definitely, right.
It had a very Moana vibe.
Oh yeah, sure.
That Call of the Mountain. I also like how often they refer to it as the Call, since that cinematic did heavily feature a character making this exact climb.
Sure. Yeah.
Ironically, the cinematic The Climb did not feature anyone making the climb.
Yeah, funny how that works. Yeah, I like in this story, especially in like the first half, the mountain, like the peak, is just kind of this looming presence that's always in their eye line. Those like they'll get completely distracted from what they're doing, just staring at it, and just like it's like all they can think about. It's like no matter how much they try and put it aside, it's like I want to go do that, right? Yeah. I gotta know,
Gotta. Yeah, the only other place that, and he doesn't come up specifically here, but in the story The Mountain by Graham McNeil, he's just kind of talking about Targon, and they don't talk about him specifically, they just kind of talk about the aspects. But one interesting tidbit from this story that I wanted to highlight is there's a quote: "It is incredibly unusual for more than a single aspect to walk the earth of Runeterra at any given time. So, the tales of several aspects manifesting has spread a pall of fear and uncertainty around the mountain, for what threat might be arising that requires the power of so many powerful beings to fight."
Like 4 or 5, 6 of them at a time,
right?
Rising,
and one died and was
going on.
strewn from the heaven. Oh no! I'm just gonna a third.
The void.
Leona. Oh no! I was saying how many aspects
I was talking about how many,
although the numbers are very similar.
World-ending things happening. Maybe
one
that's what they're doing.
For each world-ending
event. One aspect for each one.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. We didn't even realize that you were gone, and we were just talking to each other the whole time.
That's fine. No big deal.
All right.
Yeah, so that's new stuff.
Canon, Taric.
Yeah, canon, Taric.
Yeah.
Got some old stuff.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Old Taric bio. As Taric's father taught him, every stone has its meaning. For Taric's enemies, they all mean trouble.
Oh, shit.
There's an ancient form of magic forgotten by many and discarded by some. It's the magic of the earth, of the resonance of crystals and gems. Taric's father was a healer in their city on a world far away. Taric was always interested in his father's pursuits, even from a young age. Despite his burgeoning understanding of herbs, plants, and animal medicines, it was the power of gems that most fascinated the growing boy. It wasn't long before Taric had exhausted his father's coveted library and set out on a path of his own. He wasn't to be a healer, but a defender, one who used the power of the earth to preserve and protect. Quickly, Taric became a wandering knight, renowned across the land. That is, until the day a spell of a summoner grabbed him from his home and deposited him on Runeterra. Now Taric misses his world, though he's happy to fight in the League, protecting all those who are in need.
So he was just in another world?
Yeah, he's just a dude in another world.
And they're like, we can't do like a tornado again. Just a big old hand comes from the sky.
Yoink.
Picks them up, and they're like, here.
Just the old gloved
welcome
icon
to the League.
Pointer.
The claw.
That is so bizarre.
I have no idea. I had forgotten that Olaf was also just a dude. I have no idea why they thought just these guys, just regular fucking dudes, can't be
they
from
had
here.
Like a whole world. Yeah, why not just it's so weird.
They just have really bad aim. They were like, oh, this world's like gem magic, sweet. We'll reach into there, we'll grab someone they're sure to be strong. Like, oh, we got just a dude, guys. Fuck. We gotta our
like,
radar needs to be a bit better.
It's like, okay, Skarner, I get Skarner could be from another. I guess maybe he wasn't originally. Even Skarner wasn't originally from some other world, right? He's
right. He's always here.
But so Taric, funny. Some guy walking around with gems. Well, I guess he's going to have to come from some other fucking plane of existence. Right. Too wild.
Now, I was surprised to see how many Journal of Justice articles Taric showed up in.
Oh, God.
I was not expecting it.
I wasn't.
But here we are.
I wasn't when I read the second version of his old bio where it mentions that, he's a really big celebrity champion. And I was like, okay, great, awesome. Let's see what happens here.
Right. Whew, so issue 6, Taric is helping Rise investigate magic. It says Taric the Gem Knight, which was his old title, and fellow champion of the League, is a frequent collaborator. When asked about his feelings on the study of magic, Taric answered, "It is through study and collaboration that we can increase our own strengths in addition to understanding each other. I am, however, aware that a number of other champions shun this research in the belief that we are becoming weaker by exposing ourselves. I say to them, come on to the battlefield and see what advantages the League's shared knowledge has granted us."
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, we'll just kind of keep a running tally here. Just remember that this was a quote that he gave to the Journal of Justice. All right. Number 2, he shows up in issue 8. As we know, there are some champions at their land of origins unknown. For example, Taric and Nasus. This was, for the record, a mailbag of justice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, since my duties as a scholar direct so, and the head librarian gets on my nerves by his constant questioning, could either of them be so kind as to tell we summoners a couple things about their home world? One of those great role-playing summoners. Love it. Taric's usually quite open to questions regarding his world. He describes his home as a magnificent place where gems are coveted as sources of magic in the same way that we revere runes. As a word of warning, however, if you manage to find him sitting at the local tavern, be prepared for a long conversation and an equally long bar tab. You can expect a full explanation of the significance of each gem, which are his favorites, where are they found, etc. After that, he'll usually launch into a long-winded tale about how he learned herbalism from his father before crusading off to defend the verdant jungles and forests of his homeland. For Taric, the preservation of the world of Runeterra is just as important. It's a lot of information he seems pretty open with.
Yeah.
You know, he really makes it seem like all you need to do is ask him a question, and he'll just launch into a long-ass story about his past.
I'm curious where this is heading. I will say I do kind of wish that they kept harping on this idea that if you do get into if you start talking about gyms with Taric, he's like a kid who collects stamps, and he will just tell you about every gym. You can't stop the motherfucker.
This one's called Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
Mike just doesn't want to stay up. Okay.
All right, here we go. Issue 9. So, just a few days ago, Calliope Productions, located in Demacia, announced its latest musical, The Sound of Magic. Now, normally this reporter could not care less about musicals, so why the sudden interest in this one? Because this one's helmed by the Gem Knight himself. The Sound of Magic isn't just a musical, it's a symphonic bonanza. This reporter was fortunate enough, depending upon your point of view, to have been allowed into one of the rehearsals. The songs are epic, pretty much everyone is dancing, and the costumes are, well, outrageous. I've never seen so much frilly business in my entire life, and the colors make it look like a flower bed threw up. Taric is the lead designer in all this, and it shows. The Gem Knight actually deigned to give me a few choice words. I'm excited about this opportunity. Musical theater has always, in some way, been in my blood. This production is top-notch, and I'm honored to be center stage. It's wonderful that I get to show my fans a different side of me. It certainly is going to be a stark contrast to butt-kicking for a living, that's for sure. Hopefully, the prime performance won't interfere with Taric's duties to the League of Legends. If not, maybe he can bring some singing and dancing to his battles. Maybe even in one of those frilly costumes. As long as it doesn't clash with the hammer.
Hey-o.
Yeah, he's out there. He's sharing his life, responding to the Journal of Justice reporters. No big deal. Issue 10. We find out Taric does a product endorsement for Taric's Magic Feather Dusters. And this isn't mentioned here, but we also know from previous episodes that he also has a line of sunscreen that Singed uses called Taric's Tropical Tan.
I love this one because they mentioned that Garen also has, like, all the champions have sponsorship deals, and I want to see, like, a cut of Garen fucking up an ad read for 200 takes. Right?
Oh my God, I love that. That would so be him. It's reminding me, I don't know if this is too deep, but fucking Ricky Bobby when he was trying to do.
That's literally what I had in my head. I don't know what to do with my hands. Garen, put them down. No, this feels natural.
Karen as Ricky Bobby is just so perfect.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh my God.
All right, let's see. Issue 13. This is when the Rift was getting a makeover. And apparently so are some champion skins. The League giving everyone makeovers is truly exciting, commented Taric, the Gem Knight, after emerging from the League tailor shop. We've all been abiding to last season's fashion like it's law somewhere. Red is clearly out. It's now Ruby for vigor.
Is this like when they updated all the splashes to use like 10-cent splashes or something? What is this? What is this in reference to? Oh, I think they did a big silhouette like pass, didn't they? I don't know.
I think so.
Something.
All right, and finally, that was a nice Taric statement to the Journal of Justice. Now we've got issue 27.
This was way after his last one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this was another mailbag of justice. Taric draws his power from earth magic through the resonance of crystals and gems. With the appearance of Skarner, whose race seems to share a similar magical link to crystals, I was wondering if the two have met and what their thoughts are on each other. And the response is, Taric is a very reserved member of the League of Legends and usually politely declines to comment to the Journal of Justice.
They did not read the other 13, the first 13 issues.
I can't be fucking asked.
But Skarner's emergence and arrival at the Institute did indeed catch his interest enough to offer you this response. Yes, he's responding again. I have come across many kinds of magic during my time in Runeterra. Until the arrival of Skarner, no magic in this land has struck so closely to that of my home. It's a bit presumptuous, but I like to imagine that perhaps our worlds share a deeper connection than we think.
Oh, maybe he was always in Runeterra. Right? Kind of like a little village situation.
Wow. Right? Fucking Planet of the Apes deal.
Sure. You know, all this talk of gems does make me think that the whole gem part of even new Taric feels like it comes out of nowhere, now that I think about it. There's nothing about...
Yeah.
Why is it gems?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because they're pretty.
I like gems. I love the Gem Knight thing, but it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say in the old lore it almost makes more sense. It's like that as people use gems as magic, and now he's decked out in gems. Like, that's fine. Lots of people use different things as magic. But here it's like, he ascended. He didn't ascend. He ascended. Do they call it ascended?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's an aspect now. He aspected. It sounds like I say inspect. Like I'm a federal aspector.
Fuck. But yeah, he's kind of like a big offender in that way, honestly. I think if we didn't know anything about Taric, like if he was not around since 2009, it would probably kind of strike us as weirder. But everyone knows Taric. He's the Gem Knight.
He's the gem guy.
Yeah. Loves them. Can't get enough of them.
He eats them.
It's like that one lady from
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
The one lady, you mean your wife from Stardew Valley?
I couldn't remember her name, though, is the problem.
John, tell me her name right now.
Veronica.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Ooh.
You have put so many hours into Stardew Valley.
Look at this cup.
Go. He's catching shit for not knowing another one's name.
I don't even remember my own fucking name right now. It did start with a V, though, right?
No.
Fuck. Wow. Wait, give me this first letter.
A.
A? Wait, Abigail?
Yes.
Yes. Got it.
Ew.
So, back to my first point. It's like Abigail from Stardew Valley, am I right?
Yeah, her.
Nailed it. First try.
Your wife.
So she's also, or he's also, in the cinematic Call of the Mountain, which was a Legends of Runeterra cinematic, where It's I forget all the race names here. You're gonna have to help me out with the Legend of Runeterra knowledge. What were those kind of mini unicorns called again?
Oh, Stellacorns.
Stellacorns, yes. And does the race with the two horns that are like people, like humanoid, do they have a specific name?
I think we thought that with Soraka, we thought they were probably Vastaya who live on the mountain.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay, that tracks. So yeah, this cinematic follows a Vastaya who found a fallen Stellacorn, and the Vastaya just casually climbs Mount Targon to return one of these unicorn creatures to their home near the top. But you can see Taric in the cinematic in the stars at 1 minute and 32 seconds. He's got his own constellation up there.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
Killed 12 people through criminal negligence, and you get fucking constellation. I see how it is.
Now you're a god. Yeah, that's a good point. Fuck Taric.
Hey, he put his cloak on that one guy. He's fine.
He did.
He puts his gems on one at a time like everyone else.
Man, we haven't gotten a drunk John in a while.
It's nice.
I gotta say. Yeah.
Next up, we got Tellstones, King's Gambit.
This is how him in his head, like, oh god, act sober. I don't want you.
Shh, be cool.
Anyway, Tellstones.
Taric is defeating people at Tellstones by being so dreamy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing all the ladies at the tavern, and they're all like,
I don't know where the stones go. Can you show me? He's a complete blockhead.
He's like a real nerd. Like, actually, go right here.
These aren't technically stones, you see? And he's just like, oh, man.
It's a mineral.
Jesus Christ, Marie. The same dumb Breaking Bad joke at the same time. Breaking gems.
Him and Ezreal?
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn. I love that.
Meth
Yo,
for
people.
divinity.
Just League of Legends don't endorse people using meth. Please don't.
No matter how much energy and how much it improves your life, don't do it.
No. Oh my god, it does not. Watch Breaking Bad. Oh, shit. People used to ship Ezreal and Taric hard.
Yeah.
By the way. I don't know if they still do.
Super fucking hard.
There's a big age difference now, I feel like, that people didn't notice before. Ezreal's an adult. He's in his 20s, right?
Yeah. I think that the thing also is that's also like that's 2011 internet, right? They ship them and it's just a big joke, right? It's so. But I like this Breaking Bad setup we've got going on with the two of them.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Get the team back together.
Aaron Paul play Taric.
God, who would play Taric? You need someone pretty yoked for that.
They need the long hair.
Yeah.
The Fabio hair.
I'm imagining in my head now the guy from 22 Jump Street in the flashback scenes where he actually did have super long hair.
Oh, sure, yeah. Channing Tatum?
Yeah, Channing Tatum with long hair.
I would love it. He's in a really bad wig.
I could see that because he's goofy. I was thinking Aquaman guy.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
He's yoked with the long hair and super
That's
pretty.
Fair.
Yeah, but he's like... You need a nice, really straight sort of he's got a curl going on.
It's too curly, you know? His hair's too nice.
I don't think that matters.
No, it's too nice. You need the shitty long, straight hair.
This is the straight. It's like fanboy shit. Taric's hair is straight, and that hair has level 3 curls.
They don't have straighteners in Runeterra, okay?
Yeah, they wouldn't have straighteners.
Except maybe in Piltover. Maybe that's how Taric and Ezreal link up.
Sure.
Oh.
Best straightener in the world. Quotes.
Oh, you.
Okay. So he has a quote. Crash the mountain upon them, which secretly is a Viego quote, and I think we all know it. And he's got one to Ash. That bow is of the stars, as is its mistress. Which I feel like, has it ever explored the fact that Avarosa was potentially a fucking celestial?
Yeah,
what the fuck is this all about?
I remember
I don't know.
way back in like Orn. Remember they had like one of the tales of the three sisters, and they gave him some star metal to hammer. So they kind of mentioned that part, but them being like
okay,
them being like aspects would be pretty. No, I think that's not really ever harped on. But it'd be kind of neat.
This was just a random ass Taric thing they threw in, and everyone forgot about.
Well, I do think that I'm sure that was a big idea at the time. Was kind of going to be this kind of conflict between, because we know that like the Void and like the Celestials and Aurelian Soul, whatever big enemies.
They're not close.
Yeah, so I feel like there was probably a time where the narrative team was like, okay, a big plot line that runs through Runeterra is that is all about this conflict between the Celestials and the Void, and it's influenced all these things. And then they kind of said, fuck that, that's boring. What else can we do? Belveth.
And they were right. That is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Now, the quote that you picked, to Jinx, Shine On, You Crazy Diamond, is the title of a Pink Floyd song.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a quote to Varys that I liked. Are you even wearing pants? Asking the important questions, Taric.
I think it's his hair. It just wraps around.
It's probably...
yeah.
That's his pants.
Now, he does have a quote from old Taric. Gems are truly, truly, truly outrageous. Which, if you weren't aware at the time, that truly outrageous from the TV series Gem.
Gems, truly outrageous. That shit has been running to my head all day since we've been doing the
really?
doing the Taric. Truly, yeah.
That should be the song I put at the beginning of the
Fuck yes.
episode instead of his theme.
That should have been his theme. Fuck it.
Right? And then finally we've got I have seen the light too clearly to ever fear the darkness, which is a Galileo reference.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
His quote was, I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And we got a few AUs.
Sure.
Some old ones. Let me get
now, this first one, an immediate surprise for me. He shows up in Arcade, which is where Demacia Vice is now a part of.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. As Ari locks in her character on the start screen, the synth-heavy score fills the arcade. Her button taps aren't random, but perfectly calculated as she guides her champ through the crime-filled Demacian streets. A crowd gathers, intent on watching Ari finally beat the high score set by her only days ago. And this is Armor of the Fifth Age Taric.
Wow.
Really?
Which I would love to give you more information about, but there's no lore.
They just threw that in there. This was just like...
They fucking tossed it in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like his oldest skin or very close
but it's
to...
his best
yeah,
one.
it's also the most
is.
popular, right? Well, I think the original one was like... it's a reference to like a Warcraft or a World of Warcraft item set, I want to say. So,
Which then got like... They revived it too in... who was it? In Hearthstone. They had like a whole expansion around like some dude in that set.
Really interesting.
I forget the name of him. It was like one of the first like single player expansions, which is the only Hearthstone expansions that I was ever interested in.
Yeah, I don't remember at all.
It's good though. That I was always that Taric skin.
Oh yeah.
Always.
When they were redoing everything, people were like, they better fucking keep that skin just as glorious.
Fuzzy fucking boots, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
pink
you
boots.
better not get rid of those boots.
It is great. They did a great job.
Yeah, they did. Next up, we got Bloodstone. Set in a world of the Bloodstone, each champion is a Bloodstone cultist. This one's Bloodstone Taric. Considered to be the most handsome and cunning acolyte of his Bloodstone cult, Taric seized power after the former leader took to the hunt. Now fully in control of his Bloodstone artifact, he uses his powers to maintain his youth and beauty at all costs, even if it means getting his hands a little what now?
Bloodstone.
His hands are bloodstone. And his eyes are bloodstone. And his heart is bloodstone.
I love. Oh my god! Every time this puts a big fucking
it always catches me off guard. Yeah, I always forget. I love when an AU makes someone a villain or vice versa. Like, that's really fun.
It's cool.
Next we got Sunkissed Summer / Pool Party
/ Big Old Chest
/ Big Old Chest Taric.
It's so weird.
It's summer, baby. The sun's out, the breeze is warm, and the water's cool. Everybody's leaving their rivalries and grudges at home and bringing only swimsuits and good vibes. There'll be plenty of time for punching and yelling later. Just sit back, enjoy the music, and soak up the fun.
Baywatch Taric.
Pool Party Taric. This one's funny.
Uh-huh.
Always on the alert, Taric will run in cinematic slow motion to save any swimmers in distress. Although Taric has failed to save a distressing number of them.
I like it when it's just a joke. Whatever the thing is.
I do like how it honestly is tying into his real
Right?
lore. He's just like fucking around as a terrible lifeguard, but he's still getting promoted somehow.
Oh my god.
He's going to be king lifeguard soon.
Definitely.
Now, this also has a Legends of Runeterra level up bit, too. Looking good is pretty much a requirement for any lifeguard, and Taric takes his job very, very seriously. Hi there, I'm Taric. Looks like you took a little tumble there. Don't be embarrassed. It happens all the time. Let me give you a hand. Taric beaches, very good.
He's so good at beach.
He's so good at beach.
Yeah, beach man.
These are Barbie references, Mark.
Okay.
I don't think
Beach
you get
off
it.
every guy.
You gotta watch
here.
the Barbie movie.
Beach. All right.
And next up we got Rift Quest. Danger lurks in the land of Runeterra. Powerful monsters, dastardly sorcerers, and mythical creatures roam unchecked. Gather your friends and create your own adventure for 3 to 5 players, vanquishing evil with each roll of the die. Do you have what it takes to save the world and become a legend of Rift Quest? This one is Taric Lumen Shield, who is a battle cleric who has to simultaneously tank and heal for a pair of bumbling rogues. Taric Lumen Shield may be the only thing keeping his table from a total party wipe. In universe, he's a devout warrior of the divine goddess Targonius. Out of universe, he'd rather be in a different campaign.
I think a lot of people can probably relate to that,
Poor
unfortunately.
Taric. Oh man.
I do like how the 3 people in this splash we're going to get to all very close together. We just Talon, then Taric, and then the third and final is Twitch.
Nice.
I think they did that intentionally, like the 3T solution.
And next, one that I didn't know he was a part of, but obviously,
Yeah, me neither.
Space Groove.
I've never seen this. I guess we don't see Taric very much.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
In a groovy galaxy a million disco infernos away, a mysterious energy known only as the Groove brings music and prosperity to trillions of galactic citizens. But when the alien overlord Lysandra and her army of harsh vibes begin to enslave planets and suppress disco music, a new age of heroes rises to stop her and keep the party groovin'. So in Space Groove, Taric. Taric always found himself wanting more out of life and dreamed of discovering what was beyond his mundane world. His wish was granted when Teemo arrived on his planet and swept him off on an adventure. He's now found a place for himself as Ornn's apprentice as he works to understand the concept of groove.
Ornn's apprentice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's getting around. He's meeting all sorts of people. And then finally, we've got Eclipse, which is where Elderwood is now.
Oh.
In the beginning, the old gods reigned. So great was humankind's love for them that one dared to make them a part of her flesh forever. She devoured the sun itself, and descending from that empty heaven, inspired her knights to decimate all those that remained. Centuries later, they stand, the only hope against the rising Coven's darkness. This one's Emerald Taric. Obviously, thrown in there after the fact.
Yeah.
The Knights of the Emerald Chapel are the once human stewards of the Elderwood, men and women who swore an oath to the land itself and in return were granted unnaturally long life. Now led by a man named Taric, a handful reside there still, protecting the forest from all manner of invaders.
Good stuff.
Those are all you use.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot, does he?
That was Taric.
No, he's got a few fun facts.
You got any fun facts?
Ooh, let's do them.
So, Old Taric was voiced by Dennis Collins Johnson, who also voiced pre-rework Gangplank and Heimerdinger.
Oh,
wow.
that's a range.
Yeah, right.
New Taric is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, who also voices him in Legends of Runeterra, and big surprise of the night, voices Milo in Arcane.
Right, yeah.
Which I did not hear at all in his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is one of those guys who's got like 750 credits on IMDb. He's like Sasuke in Naruto.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's also
gonna
Simone
love
in
that
Gurren
fun
Lagann,
fact, too.
so, but, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Sasuke! Aurelian Sol hinted at Taric being a Targonian aspect before he was relaunched as one.
Oh, really?
His voice line, you're an aspect? Let me guess. Tackiness?
Tear into him, Aurelian Soul. Shit.
Taric into him.
Okay.
He was inspired by Fabio, his visual design.
Very much so.
On his Armor of the Fifth Age skin, you can see Debonair Ezreal, Arcade Misfortune, DJ Sona, and Riot Girl Tristana in the background. And Riot Girl Tristana is holding a cell phone with his old artwork on it.
My God, I was looking at that skin for so long, and I saw the Arcade Misfortune, and then I saw none of the rest of that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're pretty blurry.
Let me open that again.
Right.
They just looked like strangers to me.
Yeah, they're very small. I had to pull it up on the big screen for sure.
You can keep going.
Oh no, that's all I got.
Oh, interesting. I see it now. That's so funny.
That's all you got, really?
There's not a lot. I'm sorry. I should have had more. I let you guys down.
It's okay. We'll get forgive you this time. You know what? Go climb the fucking mountain, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't be that hard.
If I think I could do it, it's gotta be easy. For the record, I would die so fast if I tried to climb Mount Tarkon.
But if you really want to,
the cold would get to me before the mountain even got challenging.
I just would run out of breath. The mountain would have gotten challenging before anything else did.
It was very thin up here. Yeah.
You've been walking for 15 minutes.
Your car is still right there.
And it's so close. I should just go back. All right. Well, that was Taric. Any final thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, it's like
we need more post ascension.
Yeah, most of it's about the before times.
I want to know what he's up to.
Yeah,
he should be doing cool stuff. We don't
like fighting Viego.
Like fighting Viego.
Sure.
Putting a shield up.
You can put him anywhere, right? Like that's a big thing. I will say in Runeterra, he does have some quotes with Pantheon, and where Pantheon really doesn't like him, and I would like to see that developed on, because obviously Atreus, hates all aspects, but Taric seems like a pretty good guy, so it'd be kind of neat to see them yell at each other. I don't know, something like that, right?
Or whatever,
right? Yeah. How does that
What's
reconcile? Yeah.
Well, that was Taric. Thank you so much for listening. We have some merch, shirts and stuff, bit.ly/loreheadmerch. It's also linked in the description here. We have a Twitter, it's @loreheads, and we have a Twitch, twitch.tv/loreheads. John streams on Saturdays in the evening EST. He does TFT and ARAMs with viewers. He's very good at TFT. So if you want to learn something, or why did you just look at me like that? You just slow blinked and eye rolled.
No, it was more a slow blink, and then that was it took all my energy to open my ass back up again.
Are you drunk or high right now?
He's got the spins.
Okay? You have one glass of mead and you're
that was
floored, dude.
A lot of mead in that glass.
I guess mead's pretty strong. Well, you're okay. I stream on Mondays. We all play Summoner's Rift together. That's fun. sometimes. We have a YouTube. We post clips of this if you want to see John trying to open his eyes. He's struggling so hard to do it.
You got it.
You can head over to our YouTube. And we have a Discord. You want to jump in, find people to play League with, talk about lore or other weird memes that they post. I don't know. They're young there. I don't understand memes. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm really proud of you.
Good job.
I'm your mom, and I'm impressed. Do your homework.
And this meme is for Vigor. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Oh, that's nice. Now, who's that? Do you know them from school?
Holy shit.
That was so real.
Right?
I'm not that old. I know what a meme is. And we have a Patreon. We recently reviewed the Mario movie. We've got some other things coming up, right? Oh, we're going to play that Forewarned game soon. Yeah. That's going to be fun. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons. Big Man Gnomes, King of Hearts, Shupa Moustache, Trideca, How's Your Stool, John? It's going great, thanks for the concern. And new member to the crew, Mr. Dead 8. Who
did he eat, do you think?
9? No, get it?
That's such a dad joke. Anyway, what are you gonna do for them, John?
Yeah.
If you were accused of criminal negligence at your post, I would climb Targon for you. And even though it would be very cold, I would bring a heavy jacket and would not share it with ghosties.
You're like the guy in Cool Runnings now.
You lift up that...
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
Oh, fuck.
Well, please be sure to join us next week. I'm very stoked to do an impression and talk about the Swift Scout, Teemo.
And we will have a special guest for that episode.
Nice. Yay!
Tune in then to see who...
It's John's mom.